Hello, my name is Drew Stone, and I'm the host of the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live.
Conditioned by indoctrination, conditioned by society. You're a victim of the digital age, a 21st century casualty. Open your eyes, you're losing control. Open your eyes, put down the phone. Conditioned by misinformation, it's just the media telling us lies. Decipher fiction from the truth, society's slow and tragic demise. Open your eyes, you're losing control. Open your eyes, put down the phone. Everyone's got their fucking opinion.
What's happening? What's up, gang? It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live once again. I hope your Sunday's going well. What's up, Spiky? Rob Black, my dude, what's happening? What's up, Victoria? Jose, 20-year-old pizza. All right, welcome. Hey, Darren, what do you say? Good, good. John in London. All president accounted for. Yeah, I hope all's good. What's up, Brian? Yeah. Oi, oi. What's up, Annette? Macaldi. Where are you, in Italy? Where are you, in Italy? Yes, I did. Yo, what's up, RS? Yes, I did. Believe it or not, I did go to the CBGB Fest yesterday. I didn't plan on going, but one of the guys, Tristan in my band, bailed out and he had tickets, and me and Astoria Lou went, and I'm glad we did. We enjoyed it, and probably the most enjoyable thing about it was just seeing so many friends, so many New York people. Here's a cool shot of that's me, Tommy Carroll, who was recently on the show, and Astoria Lou next to him, and John Watson, the legend. So it was very cool. They had like the CB, as you can see, they had the CBGB's what do you call it? I'm drawing a blank. That thing we're standing in front of. The marquee. Thank you. They had the marquee set up, which was very cool. And, you know, it was a little corny. You know, you could the awning. Thank you. They had the awning. The awning. So they had the awning set up, and it was kind of corny. You take pictures in front of it. But one really cool thing that they had was this. I guess they dug it out of storage. I mean, I don't know the history right now, who owns the name. I knew the guy that bought it initially when the family sold it. And then from what I understand, I think they had a big loan from the bank. All their hopes and dreams with the CBGB name initially didn't work out. And I think it went into foreclosure. And then I believe these people must have bought it out of foreclosure from the bank because the bank owned it. But and I guess they picked up all the assets. But check this out. They had the original bar set up. How cool is that? Just kind of sitting out there. They had the original bar set up. And I took this picture because you might not be able to see the detail, but there's a tree sticker. And, you know, Dave Tree's been on the show, and we play with them. ID plays with them quite often. And I got to send it to him. You could see on the mirror, there's a tree sticker on there. So you're right. I wonder where the toilet is. Yeah, the toilet. They saved the bar. They probably didn't save the toilet. You know, but I thought the bar was pretty cool. And you know, we got like 2 feet into the place and spent an hour. It was like a meet and greet. just one person after the other, old friends, new friends, fans of the show. It's rare for me to go to an event like that where I'm just a spectator. I'm not a participant. And it's really nice. I really enjoyed it. Musically, I don't have the patience or the legs to stand on concrete for 45 minutes to an hour to watch anybody. But I did watch this band for a bit. And listen, this is one of the all-time greats right here. Of course, The Damned. I watched The Damned for a while, and they were fantastic, man. You know, I mean, we just saw them in Vegas because ID played that the punk rock bowling thing, and so did The Damned. And I watched The Damned like from a very comfortable spot in the VIP section. Yesterday, you could see where I was standing where I took this. It was a little hard on the legs, but I love The Damned. I lasted like 5 songs, and then we wandered off to go watch some other music. I also really enjoyed this artist. This was the first time that I saw this guy play, and this is Johnny Marr. And I never saw Johnny Marr. I've seen Morrissey play, but I've never seen Johnny Marr, and he's fucking great. He was great. So, the CBGB Fest was very cool. It actually, I thought it was run very well. It was very it was very together. I thought the event was very good. So kind of thought that maybe it was going to be a mess or whatever, but it was run well. It was put together. And the stages, it was good. It was good. So that said, do you know who is? Hey,
what's going on?
Where are you?
I am currently on the balcony in my villa in Taormino, Sicily, right now.
Wow!
And
wow! The Wi-Fi's good in Sicily.
It's not too bad. Here's my pool right here. Look at this.
Yeah. Here's a shot you just. Here's a shot that you just sent me from the.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's where I'm standing right now in daylight. It's just unbelievable.
Wow.
And I mean, it's really. I'm here with my sister and my nieces, and we're spending a week here, and it's just. It's really tremendous. I haven't been to Sicily since 1997, so it was nice coming back here, and it's just the food and everything, and just incredible.
Wow, some real grease ball shiznit, huh?
Listen, if you need someone to disappear, I'll take care of it.
Yeah, listen, don't get caught in a crossfire, will you?
But it really is something, and just I love this kind of culture, and and the churches and the castles and everything, and it's just amazing. I will be here till next Saturday night. I'll be back.
One more Saturday night.
That's it.
Here's another shot. Wow, I've never been to Sicily.
Oh, you must go.
Yeah, look at that, huh?
Yeah, see, that's our villa. You could see my nieces, my 2 nieces, and my sister, and my brother-in-law lounging by the pool there.
Is it hot?
It's about 80 degrees.
I bet it was hotter in Florida where I just was.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It's miserable.
But it's it's just beautiful here, and just this place we're staying. We have the whole place. It's like we each get like a big room and a kitchen, and it's we stocked everything up with food, and it's pretty incredible.
Maybe you'll meet a nice Sicilian girl.
That is what my mother has threatened me to do. Try to come home with one, she said. But like Michael Corleone in The Godfather when he meets Apollonia.
Apollonia, no.
Yeah, her driving didn't end well. But just really just amazing. And I missed. In fact, it's funny because initially when the CBGB Fest was announced, I was flipping out and seeing about, oh my God, I got to shoot that. And of course, it was the day we left. So,
Yeah, it was
it
was cool.
did you?
CBGB thing. Listen, you know me. I have a very short. I have like ADD at show. Yeah, I just.
Oh, yeah.
I just can't, man. But I really enjoyed it. While the most enjoyable part of shows for me now is seeing everyone.
Right, the people that. Did you happen to see the Lambrini Girls at all?
No.
Yeah, they're kind of fun. They're another like Australian band.
I saw a little Angel Dust. I saw some Cro-Mags. I saw some Lunatics. So I saw what's the other one? Glow, Soul Glow. A little of this. Listen, for me, every band gets
in the light now.
10 minutes. Sicilian girls are nuts. Okay.
I'm in the light next to the brick oven pizza oven here. So
right. All right. Cool.
Well, listen. You know what?
Have a great time, man.
I had to make an appearance. I didn't want to miss my spot. And
yeah.
But
you'll be back. You'll be back for next Sunday for Mike Dean.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I come back Saturday night. In fact, you'll appreciate. We were supposed to fly out at midnight on Friday night for Saturday. We got to JFK, and you know how you get to JFK a couple hours early to make sure you get through security, all that.
Mm-hmm.
We get there, our plane was delayed until 2:30 a.m.
Oh,
it was, and then we had to.
And that's how the trip started.
Yeah, and then because of that, we missed our connecting flight to Catania.
Bro, listen, you know what would have happened if you had a wife? You know what happens when you have a wife in that situation?
She would have killed someone?
They turn on you. That's the moment that they turn on you, bro. The flight's late. It's midnight. That's when...
we had to get a new flight.
They turn on you
to
and
Sicily.
Your whole world just crushes.
And you know what? You know what always is the cherry on the cake? A screaming child on both airlines.
Listen, you know what how I talked to how I think all listen. Welcome to Drew Stone Airlines. All babies go to the back of the plane.
Steerage.
To the far back. If you have a child, you know what? If you have, how's this sound? If you have a kid under the age of 10, you go to the last 3 rows of the plane. You go to the back of the plane. If you have a dog or something, you go to the back of the plane. How's that sound?
I totally agree.
New rules. All right,
I totally agree.
Let me get going. We got to get our guest on.
All right, then. Arrivederci.
Have a good arrivederci. Have a good trip. That's right. The hardcore shutterbug. That's right. No kids under 6 on the plane. New rules. I'm making the rules now when it comes to flying because this is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, and we are sponsored by the Texas Silver Rush, DTFM Vinyl Distro, Generation Records, Woo Man of the Pit, She Devil Coven, and 126 Hardcore Clothing. They're a streetwear brand for restless individuals who don't compromise. They're about being positive, spontaneous, and true to yourself. For years, they experimented with several printing methods and materials and collaborated with a large number of designers and illustrators, always giving room for fresh perspectives while retaining the hardcore attitude. Get in touch with them. Ramp up your weak-ass clothing game at www.126clothing.com. That said, let's bring our guest on. Here we go. Let's clear the deck. What the heck? Get your shoes and socks on, kids. Whoa, it's right around the corner. Hold on. The printer's just spitting stuff out. I don't know why. It's a ghost in the machine. Today's guest is an acclaimed artist, photographer, and slot car racer hailing from Vista, New York. As a photographer, his poignant and thought-provoking work has captured on film many hardcore and post-hardcore bands, including Shelter, 108, Into Another, Quicksand, Burn, and HR of Bad Brains. His photography and creative direction has been trusted by Nike, Rolling Stone, Doc Martens, ESPN, Miller Lite, and many others. Please welcome, coming at us from Ravella Groves and Gear in Milltown, New Jersey, Mr. Ray Lego. Hey, bro.
Hey, what's up? What's going on, dude?
How you doing, Ray?
How's everything?
It's good. Good. How's
Yeah, man, I'm at the record store. I'm at the show. It's it was amazing. Thursday, Walter played from Quicksand. It was a super cool. Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I'm looking for that flyer. Because originally,
Man, I want to be in Sicily.
Are you?
I want to be in Sicily.
Oh, you want to be in Sicily?
Yeah, let's go back.
I'm looking for. I'm trying to. Where's the flyer? Right. Oh, here it is. Okay. So this just went down, and you're going to give us a little walkthrough on this
Right.
later on. But tell us about what this event was that just happened.
So it's 30 years of my music photography, starting from 1992 up until the day of the show. It's at the record store, Ravella Grooves and Gear in Milltown, New Jersey. It's such a cool record store. When I first saw the record store, I was thinking about having this show and having people hunt for my photos like you would hunt for records. Mm-hmm. And when they did the expansion in the store, I'm like, okay, now it's perfect. It's got a little stage. So I asked Walter because I love Quicksand, first of all, and I had such a crazy story to tell about my Quicksand story, how I got mugged before the shoot. You want me to tell it?
No.
Okay, we'll get it.
There's a succession of events here, and there's a timeline.
Gotcha. Anyway, so the show stays up until November 10th or 12th. We're going to have a closing party, and we're going to have another artist play.
Cool.
I can't say who yet because we're still kind of we're not 100% confirmed, but it's going to be cool. So everybody should come out for that and check out the shop, check out my photos. I've got custom 1/3 C prints that you see behind me. Those are like a lost art. I've got archival prints. I've got contact sheets. I've got some Polaroids, including the Deftones Saturday Night Wrist original Polaroids, some Kings of Leon only by the night Polaroids, Beach House Polaroids, a bunch of Chaka from Orange 9 Polaroids that are really cool. I'll let you guys take a look at that when we do the walk around.
Cool. Hey, I want to something new for everybody. Maybe somebody can help me out this. Here's a new feature of the show. You see that scan code up there on the left? That's Ray's website. Can somebody who is familiar with this technology, could they see if that really works? Can you scan that and see if that really brings you to Ray's website?
Yes, it does.
That's pretty cool. Let's see if that works. That's something that StreamYard just added, and I thought today would be a good chance. Let me see if that because that's cool.
It works awesome, dude. I just did it. It works awesome.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So
thank you for that. Very cool.
Yeah. So initially, this is a new thing on the show. If you want to go straight to Ray's site, take your communication device and
it has everything up there, more than just my music photography. It's got like commercial stuff too as well. But so anyway.
Okay. All right, it works.
It's
Good.
cool.
I'm excited. So let's bounce the ball back and forth a little bit. How did you come up? Where did you grow up in a music household? How did music and photography come into your life? I know that's a big question. I know photography came a little bit later, but how did music come into your life?
Well, I remember, having those big giant like record players, and my parents having like, Jethro Tull records and a lot of classic stuff. But, my parents weren't musicians. We weren't really, we didn't take lessons. We didn't take like, the traditional whatever, school
Sure.
band. And so I think probably in like junior high school, I started getting into, I was a huge Kiss fan, of course. Who wasn't? My room was covered with Kiss posters, and my uncle sold the house to Ace Frehley in Connecticut.
That's right.
And he was like, I'm going to come and get you. We're going to go meet him and blah, blah, blah. So one day I'm sitting out there. I got my Ace Frehley poster all rolled up with my marker, waiting for him to come and pick me up. And he never came and picked me up. And I was so bummed. And I asked him later on, and he was just like, yeah, he was very like, he didn't want anybody to come over, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not really sure what the story was. But yeah, huge Kiss fan. And then that went straight into like more like punk stuff. Like I got into like, Devo and the Dead Kennedys and, bands like that. And then like a couple kids from high school, like John Purcelli and
where did you go to high school?
John Jay High School. Yeah, John Jay High School up in Westchester, South Salem, Cross River. It's Cross River actually.
Did you grow up in Vista though?
Yeah, Vista, but it's very rural, and we 40 minutes to get to our school, like in all directions.
Oh wow.
We took and I used to skate to the end of my road, and then like this kid with a John Lippeth, he used to pick me up. He had a Gremlin with etched glass windows of dinosaurs and a bong in the middle of the seat. He'd pick me up on my skateboard, and we, 40 minutes to high school. It was crazy.
Vista's like a hamlet, though, right? It's not like a town. It's a hamlet.
Yeah, it's a small little town. Our mailing address was actually Connecticut until just recently because we didn't have a post office. So
it's literally right on the Connecticut border.
Right on, New Canaan, Connecticut. Yeah, and so which was how I got to Anthrax in Stamford, because the train was right there. I could just hop on that and be in Stamford at the Anthrax, the first venue, super quick. So anyway, John Purcell, all those guys, they started, really getting into all the hardcore stuff and, Metallica and all the crossover stuff. So, and then I just kind of, followed those guys and started getting into all that stuff. And, once we started going to, the Anthrax, I got introduced to all those bands, all the hardcore bands. So, and then we saw some really great bands, back then, and, 10 guys and a couple girls at the Anthrax.
I'm trying to find the great Anthrax shot that's the first Anthrax.
Yeah, the first
Anthrax in Stamford, right?
Right. It was in a basement. There was no exit, small little stage. If you touched the wrong thing, you would get a shock. People would be throwing, it was like in the ghetto in Stamford, and people would be throwing pipe bombs at us. And, it was interesting. It was fun. It was, it was hardcore punk, man, at its best, I think. There you go. We got Jim Spaz. There's Bruce from a high school kid drinking a beer right there with the striped shirts and the Nikes on. Yeah, man, really cool. So, yeah, we hung out there, man. $5. Usually they didn't even charge a lot of us. $5, man. We saw so many bands, like COC.
And this is when you mentioned, this is when, Stanford's changed, but this is when there was still like a nasty part of Stanford.
Right. That's in the back. If you go in front of it, that's the street. And right to the right of it goes up into like the projects. And I got mugged like a couple times. They stole my skateboard. And we chased after them like later on, and they just left it in the woods. So I guess I got it back. I kind of got mugged. Anyway.
Did you ever meet Moby back then, Michael?
Yeah, Moby, Vatican Commandos. Like he was in another band. I'm not really sure the name, but I love Vatican Commandos.
He apparently he really loved that. He's been on the show a couple times.
Right?
He that was like his spot.
Yeah. He looked completely different, back then, but I guess we all did. Ray Capo and his crew from Danbury, Connecticut. Purcell and our crew from John Jay, and then all these other random people, New York City kids, Jersey kids. Yeah, it was a fun place. It really was.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of great bands. There I am. Yeah, Travis Wright with the Plasmatics T-shirt playing bass.
So tell what is this and what's this? Tell us what we're looking at here.
This is we're opening up for Die Cruisin'. That Detroit band. I think they're Detroit.
Yeah.
Oh, Detroit. Yeah,
And this is you singing.
This is me singing "Time for Crime." The band Time for Crime. Yeah.
Right.
And back then, we all kind of like everybody was in a bunch of different bands, and
Right.
our original guitar player was Matt Craig, who died in a canoe accident, and our original drummer was Aaron Kudermash, our like local metalhead in at John Jay. But we had subs. People subbing in. Yeah,
and there's Purcell playing guitar, right?
Yeah. Posset T-shirt. John's got the Night of Pure Energy Anthrax T-shirt. Yeah, really cool, man. I love this. You know, you can see my set list right there. Some of the songs were like Respect, You're Too Cool, Car Wash. I used to work at a car wash. Backdoor Bomb, you know, High School Redneck, Handsome Joe Was a Farmer, you know, just crazy stuff.
So that was really sort of like many other places in you know, I don't want to say every town had one, but that was sort of like where a lot of young people met and a lot of ideas percolated, and you were basically unharassed, and you could drink Jolt Cola, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a little earlier than the you know, Jolt Cola scene, but you know, some of us were straight edge, some of us weren't. I mean, I went back and forth like numerous times. I mean, I got super drunk at a Murphy's Law, a show there once, you know, but I've also been straight edge there. So Ray and Purcell were always straight edge, but yeah, I kind of like, you know, there's a Time for Crime sticker. Yeah. Awesome.
Spiky asks, what year what year was that happening?
I think 1985.
Wow.
Yeah, 1985. Yeah, so it was in the beginning, like, you know, it was right there, man. So many great bands back then, you know, like COC and DRI. Everybody just kind of starting, and you saw them all in the original Anthrax in the basement. Yeah, in the basement. Misfits. I mean, sometimes it would be like 200 people there, but most nights, like there'd be like 10 people there, you know, and like 2 girls.
Right.
But the big boys. I mean, I thought I had a list, but so many. If you there's a book, I forgot what it's called, about that club that Chris did. Has the listing of all the dates and all the bands. Yeah, it's pretty amazing, the bands that rolled up through there. I think I sent you some stuff. But
and is this a self-portrait from that era?
Yeah, that's me and my best friend Travis Wright. Right before high school, I shaved my head because why not? We were hardcore punk, you know, like we were totally into Minor Threat and you know, and AF and all those bands. And I went to high school. John Jay, they called me in and they were like, is there something wrong? They didn't know. They thought I was sick maybe, or thought I joined cult or whatever. So they brought me into the high school principal department, and my mom was in the hospital during this, and we went to my grandmother's for dinner, and I wore a hat. I wore a knit black hat because I didn't know what was going to happen when my dad saw me. So, and I remember my dad saying, "Take your hat off" at the dinner table like 5 times to me, and then he just ripped my hat off, and he saw me, and he just bam. That's like 1985, you know. I deserved it. I mean, I you know,
you got a smack for cutting your hair so short.
Yeah, I mean, if we were at my house, I would have got a wooden spoon, but we had to draw broken wooden spoons, you know, like every household back then. But yeah, it was not good timing, you know. But you know, we were punks, man. We were good kids, but we weren't, and I got in a lot of trouble. But
you know, I can relate. In 1981, I shaved my head for the first time when I was a freshman at Emerson College in Boston.
Nice.
And they freaked out. I got called into like the dean's office. Like they were concerned. They thought like because there was no reference point back then. The only people that shaved their heads back then were like Marines and psychopaths.
Right.
It wasn't, you know, nowadays, you know, it's part of the lexicon of the world we live in. But yeah, did you join a cult?
What year in Emerson again? Did you say?
I was at Emerson in 1981.
81. Okay, because I was right across the street, living on Mass Ave and what's the main street there down Boston?
Com Ave, Mass Ave.
Yeah, right across the street from Emerson. I went to Mass Art for 2 years. So
yeah. What year were you up there?
I think 87.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You went to Mass Art, right?
Yeah.
I get so, but before, right, and we're going to get there. So, I think another part of growing up, and you sent me these pictures. I think this kind of culture ties into everything. Correct?
Yep. There's my half pipe with my good friend Tony Killer Cornelio up top there. My brother was in this shot. I don't know what happened. I think the AI got rid of it or something. Yeah. There's our skateboards. Matt Craig.
That's a great ramp.
Accident. Took the photo. There's his like doctor bag where he'd have all his pads in and stuff like that. Yeah, we would put the speakers out the window and we would crank like all sorts of stuff, and everybody would come over. I'd have I'd show up from high school and I'd have like 20 people skating my ramp. The big boys, AOD. There's Ray Capo grinding the Copen. You know, he's got the work gloves on and all the directors on the rector pads, and
look at Capo go, man.
Yeah, man, he's you know.
RS asked who built the ramp.
I did. Yeah, I built the. Yeah, we stole all the wood from the condominiums down the road. I borrowed my friend's. That's still the whole ramp. I think I paid for like the final sheeting, but Capo used to ride his moped, like a pedal moped, from Danbury, Connecticut to my ramp in Vista. I mean, it was like 25 miles. I mean, it wasn't like a Vespa. Wow. It was like a pedal like moped. I mean, hilarious. Hilarious. But it was
Ray,
time, man.
Yeah. That's awesome.
They took down that ramp after I went to art school, and there was like probably about 100 beer cans like stuffed in there. Every time we drink underneath the thing. Not those.
Yeah, very true. John in London says so good. All ramps were borrowed wood back in them days.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It was a good time. The neighbors would be like, "What's that thunder sound in your yard?" We would just for hours dropping in. So many kids would drop in and hit the bottom, boom, man. They would never skate again. They got so scared after that. But yeah, it was fun, man. It was skateboarding back then was good, clean fun.
Interesting. We've talked about this many times, is that this sort of culture in like that area of Connecticut with Ray and Purcell and you and Moby, it was a very vibrant, believe it or not, you know, when you least think in that's the incredible thing I think about just art in general, you know, is that in some of the least expected places.
Yep. I mean, we were rural. We weren't even suburban.
Yeah.
We were rural, you know,
Hamlet.
And so, but we once we got something and got into it, there was nothing else to do. So, you threw everything in, just, here it is, like we all played sports until we were like, this is ridiculous. Let's go find something else to do. And then it was music or bands or, we skateboarding was really, fun. So,
So in following the timeline, we mentioned Boston. After high school, you went to Mass Art in Boston, right? And you studied advertising and design, and then you ended up back in New York. What sort of was? Did you have a deep interest, or how did? Or was it just I got to go to college?
my photography photo teacher says, I was like, yeah, I'm really into photography. I think I want to switch to photography. And she said, well, if you got to go to New York. She says, you got to go to New York.
Is this after high school? Is that when you were in Boston already?
Yeah, no, high school, then Mass Art.
Why Mass Art? Why Mass Art?
Just, it was I wanted to be in Boston,
Yeah.
Why not? SSD, DYN.
Right. Yeah.
It sounds like a good place to rap.
Yeah, right. That's what I meant when you went to college. Was there was there a clear cut vision? Was there a clear cut vision?
Who cares about the school? I wanted to see DYS, So,
yeah, right.
I did my 2 years there, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do advertising, so I want photography. So
is that what you studied, like advertising and design?
Yeah, advertising and design. It was like no computers, it was before computers, so it was
brutal,
and all that. It was ridiculous. So then I went to School of Visual Arts and studied photography, and like two years in, I was like, I'm never gonna graduate. I'm only into the photo classes, and on a subway back to Hoboken, I had a big giant Swedish 500 cm Hasselblad around my neck. I carried it like I would carry there it is, man. Look, I stripped all the black coating off it. It looks like what they took up to the moon. That's kind of what but yeah, this is my workhorse. I mean, I shot 75% of my work with this. My parents bought me this when I was in school. It was like, like $2,000 used, and with the lens and everything. And it's just amazing. I mean, just the photos it takes. I mean, it's just
incredible.
All those old like rock records that are square are with this camera.
That's
the contrast, the shutters in the lens, the contrast of the lens, it's just beautiful. I mean, it's just no retouching, no nothing. Just shoot, print, and be blown away.
As a very young person, because I grew up around this camera as well. My brother had, my dad, whatever. But who inspired you? I'm talking as a very young person when you first got your hands on this camera. Were there any photographers that really inspired you, that you loved their work?
I think in Boston, I started to really get into, of all people, David Hockney, who is a painter, photographer. He was doing these grid collages with Polaroids, and I just was always blown away by them. And I was doing something similar with film. I would just, take grids of images and put them together. And you can see a lot of grid work.
I noticed that in your work. Yeah.
Like 4 or 5 together, even though it was very different than what David Hockney was doing. I just always thought, wow, man, it's like one view, but in like 8 different sections. So it almost felt like a movie, like a movie. Yeah, I mean, so
I know I'm jumping, but I think this is sort of an example, correct?
I mean, not really. I mean, that's a contact sheet, but
I see. Okay, I'm sorry.
But the contact sheets are very similar, though. I mean, they're telling a story, right? Like,
right.
It's the process of, it's not just one final photo or the best photo. It's the best photo, the worst photo, and everything in between.
Right.
Very similar, but a little bit different. I wish I had a sample.
So you're on the train, and you have this camera around your neck.
Have the Hossie around me. Thing is like a beast, man. Nobody carries it around. Nobody even, like at art school, even kind of, they had knockoff ones. Just like my parents were cool, man. They hooked me up. So so they worked for this photographer that I actually was really digging at the time, called Guzman. It's like a husband and wife team, and they were doing like all this like 4x5 like scenar stuff, selective focus, a lot of Polaroid, like peel apart work and stuff like that. So he was their assistant, and we started to talk, and he said, come up to the studio and show your work. So I got up to the studio, and I was doing almost exactly the same process they were doing, but I was in high school and they were working professionals. So it was 4x5 Polaroid, like that burn shot. I don't know if you have that. That's a 4x5.
The one with all four, or the one with all them together?
Shots, yeah.
The what?
The from head to toe.
Yeah, here you go.
Body.
Hold on. Here we go. Here we go, yo. Boom.
Yes, that. You see, that is a 4x5 shot with a CNR. You can see a selective focus where it's going out of focus down by the legs. And
That's right.
It's actually a Polaroid. You can see the frame around it. It's a peel apart Polaroid that you process in, not to geek out, but sodium sulfite. And that takes the backing and all the slime off it. And then you come up with a negative. So you have a positive and a negative, and you print with the negative. So They were doing that. I was doing that. I was working with them the next day, traveling the world.
I think it's just a great story. Were you guys like eyeballing each other on the subway? Did they approach you and say, did they say like, hey, wow.
He saw me and like just kind of zoomed in on it because he knew like, what is this kid doing, man, on the subway with this giant camera?
That's not a camera you would see with like people carrying around back then, young people.
No, maybe a Rolleiflex, but a Hasselblad, not. It's heavy, it's awkward. Everything's reversed too. Like you couldn't afford like back then to get a prism for it. So it's a flip up. You're backwards and reverse. So you're like, ugh.
It's what we call. It was a big gun back then.
It was good, man. It was, and it's a box. It's basically a box. It's like you take the back off, the lens off. It's a box.
So you sort of fall in with them. You start working, and you said like, "Yo, you left school."
I dropped down to school the next day, and within a week, I'm like, I'm in Kurt Cobain's living room, working on a spin story with them, with Courtney and the baby. So and that's how it started. They introduced me to all this craziness, and they did everything too as well, just like me, just not music. They did advertising and portraits of regular people, celebrities and whatnot. But it was good. I learned a lot. I learned more in like a week there than I did in 4 years of school. So it was
how it goes.
It was amazing. Yeah, it was pretty fun, and we went everywhere. And it was a lot of work. It was tough. I would never want to do it again. But I learned a lot. They're cool. They're super cool. Husband and wife.
Wow.
Guzman. They call themselves Guzman. So
Guzman. And so you put in a couple years with them, and then what? You starting to get your own work?
Yeah. Well, I worked with them until 8 p.m. like 8 to 8, and then go home and start doing my own stuff. I would set up shoots. Most of the early hardcore stuff was when I was there, like the burn stuff, the shelter stuff, the early like creepy EP, the Into Another creepy EP, photos. I was all working then. I do it on the weekends or at night or whatever until I got my own clients, which only took like 2 years, and I started working. My wife was working in at a record label, so she would throw me bones. That's like early burn. Like Polaroids, like test Polaroids, really cool.
That's very cool.
I'm not really sure where this is, but I took like a little break from hardcore. I came back, I saw it burn, and the crowd was going insane. I'm like, what is going on? It went from like people doing like, moshing and going in a circle to flying, spinning back kicks, like hammer throws. And I'm like, man, I'm not going near these kids, man. They were vicious.
But, I don't know if I'm like hitting the timeline right, but let's do a little show and tell with what I think is landing into somewhat. I mean, maybe not super early, but I'm just going to grab a couple things. One of my favorites of your work is this.
Yeah, that's Into Another when they signed to a major or Hollywood Records. It was their second record. It starts with an I really someone maybe first one who posted up. I'll give them a free print. You got to come to the store and pick it up. So whoever names this record gets a free print.
All right.
Yeah, it's an I. What? But
Oh,
yeah,
and someone knows it. It's coming up.
it's gonna come up, man. I mean, I should know it, but I'm a little.
I like this shot a lot. It's vibrant, and I also feel a lot. I feel a lot of movement from this shot.
Yeah,
it reminds me of that Van Halen shot, "Women and Children First." Like, there's a lot of movement going on. I like.
Yeah, it was fun. Drew is a John Jay high school graduate too. So
is that right?
Yeah, yep. So there you go, full circle. Yeah, 40mm lens. We were all cross processing back there, where you develop C41 film, like you get chrome film and process it in C41. The colors were very contrasty and bright and whatever. Everybody was doing it. It was very fashionable, and so
I guess there was. Did you know these guys from like the Anthrax days?
I didn't, but I must have met them early on, because like probably 2 or 3 years before this, I did the Creepy EP record with Revelation, and that was probably a couple of years before. So I don't know how I met. I mean, I must have connected. You connect with all these people. I must have connected with Drew because he was in John Jay and whatever. But everybody back, all those Revelation bands, Equal Vision bands, they all kind of knew I was taking photos. I don't know if they asked me or I asked them, but there you go. There's I don't know if that's the one on the record. That might be a B-roll. I'm not really sure, but yeah, that was on the
Ignorus.
Yeah, who's that? Tell them to come by the store if they're local. Come by the store and pick up a print.
That's Josh, and Josh does the hardcore trading cards. Have you seen your hardcore trading card?
Do I have one?
Yeah, hold on, I got it.
One.
Yeah, since Josh is kind of.
I don't know if I.
Yeah, there's one.
Where's he? Where's he located? I'll ship it to him if he's not local.
Hold on, let me find this card. Where's the front of it? Hardcore. Hold on, let me find the front of your card as we go here. There's just so many pictures I have. I can't. Let's see, Lego card. Where Lego?
I don't know, dude. I would have probably seen that. I think.
No, you haven't seen this.
You just do it recently?
Here you go. Boom. Did you just do this one, Josh?
Oh, nice. I want it. I want a copy of that.
Oh, he says I'm in Rhode Island. All right. Well,
tell him to I think I follow him on Instagram. Shoot me your address. I'll send you whatever you want.
What? You just sent me another one on Facebook? Let me see what he just sent me. Why? What's wrong with this one?
That's cool.
We like that. We like that one, Josh.
Shooting going to shoot that tattoo artist Paul Booth.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Anti-hero hat. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I know Paul. And then there's the back of it, which of course Josh.
All my stats.
Yeah, he always does his homework. He's very.
That's so cool, man. I love that.
Yeah, here you go. Boom. Wow. You really, dude, this one looks like it's.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. In addition to all his photography, Ray does a lot of charity work. He's the co-founder of Slot Car Kids, a club. Slot Care Kids, a club that brings slot car racing to kids receiving specialized hospital care. The goal is to bring a, quote, normal activity to kids in a not so normal environment. He also works with the animal and nature group Green Chimneys and Bailey House, a group that helps find affordable housing for families affected by HIV and AIDS. Wow, we're going to talk about that later on. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. That's super cool. I've never seen that.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah, man. Yeah. I want to get a print of that for sure. I'll print my one. Yeah, so send me your Addy, man. I'll hook you up. Just let me know what you want. Yeah, man. So so
let me see let me grab another one from the old. Let me see. Well, while we're, you know what, I know this is, like I said, a little bit all over the place, but what's this one? Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Let me post this a second, so it's
All right.
not forgotten. This is was this Norwalk or Stanford?
Ooh.
Probably. I think that was the second one.
Yeah, no idea. I've never seen that.
Yeah, they had some graffiti in there. And here, just bouncing around here, is this Tony Bono?
I think I know what you're talking about, but I think it is. Yeah.
Is it this one?
Yes.
Is that Tony Bono who was in Whiplash?
And Into Another.
Oh, that's right. He was in Into Another too.
That's
Right.
another. That's the creepy EP session.
I see. Okay, I
Yeah.
recognize the name.
That's another 4x5 Polaroid.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned, Burn, but I guess some of these guys just sort of would cycle back into your world, correct?
Yeah, there's Orange 9, major label, Tragic, the record Tragic.
Yeah.
Super cool. Tons of photos, a full day photo shoot, major label. I think Atlantic.
I'm gonna quote you here. Most of the hardcore shoots were personal and with no budgets. But as the scene in music changed, all these great bands developed into other bands and got signed and had money to do real sessions with major label support. I went from shooting for free to shoot indie labels to doing major labels and magazine work within a year.
Yeah. Well, look at Into Another way. They went from small label to bigger label.
Yeah.
Everybody was getting signed. That.
Yeah, there was that sort of.
Burn turned into Orange 9.
Yeah.
It's just Quicksand.
I like this.
Rival schools. It was super cool. I thought like the hardcore scene was kind of, with all these bands, they were changing into something else. This was right after I got mugged.
All right. So what's the mugged story?
Okay, so the mug story, I told it Thursday night. I kind of was like nervous in front of everybody, but I'll tell it here. So I'm walking through the meatpacking district. I have a big giant knapsack, like a turtle knapsack with all my boss's gear in it. It's got cameras and lenses, probably about $30,000 worth of gear. So I'm walking and I'm right passing Florent in the meatpacking district. You remember Florent, that diner?
Yeah.
And someone just suddenly shows right next to me, asking me what time it was. And like an idiot, I look at my watch, and boom, they grab me and they throw me. Two guys out of nowhere grab me, throw me up against a plate window of Florent with knives, trying to cut off the bag. And we're fighting for probably about like 3 minutes. And I'm banging up against the glass. I thought it was going to shatter. And in the corner of my eye, I can see everybody in the diner, like eating like eggs and whatever, pancakes, just like looking at me, like, and no one came out to help me. And after like 3 minutes, they couldn't get the thing off because, like the snaps of the cases, there was like a little buckle snaps on the front and the bottom. So they couldn't figure out that all you had to do was go click, click. They're pulling whatever. I'm like a turtle. I've got a t-shirt on, shorts, and I got those Chinatown flip-flops on. You remember?
Oh yeah, the Bruce Lee slippers.
Yeah, you got them for like $3.
Yeah.
They were like brown and black, and they would blow out like in like a day. So they finally gave up. I went into the diner. I'm bloodied. My shirt is ripped off me. And I have one flip-flop on because the other one completely disintegrated. And and I looked at everyone. I was like, fuck you guys. And then there's a giant white diner cake, those coconut cakes they have at a diner. And I just like hammer fisted the cake and it went everywhere. Grabbed a knife and went to shoot Quicksand. Wow. Showed up like 4 blocks down, shooting, and they saw me coming there because I was late, of course.
Right.
They saw me walking down the street. I got the knife in my hand. I got cake on one hand. I got one flip flop on, no shirt, bloodied, with this big camera sack on me, and we shot 2 rolls, just 2 rolls that day.
This is early. This is correct. This is early.
Yeah,
like when they first got signed.
Yeah,
they were on Polydor, right? I think.
Yeah, maybe even before they got signed. I'm not really sure, but what year? I think maybe 94.
Yeah.
Maybe earlier, maybe or 96.
That was earlier than that. It was earlier.
Yeah,
than
I have to.
Yeah.
Got all my dates here, but yeah.
Astoria Lou, are you watching? What year was this? He's a big Quicksand fan.
Someone wanted to use this photo for something, but it was the wrong year. So someone knows what year this is, but yeah. I mean, Quicksand. I mean, they were, that first couple records. I mean, was everything to me. So I mean,
yeah, they were great.
It was one of the reasons why I wanted Walter to play at Thursday night because, I'm a huge fan. And he's such
is this? I know I jumped the gun before, but is this the contact sheet from that sesh?
Yes. Yes. So same kind of deal.
Yeah,
Once again, you see the cross processing going on, super high contrast, color shifting, and everything. I don't know why we were doing it. Everybody was doing it. It's kind of, I look back and I was like, oh man, I wish I had that on regular film. Who
were your peers? Sort of when you were back then, as far as photography, I know, was it Anton Corbijn? Like who else was out there that you felt like had game?
Like the people I was working for was like I really loved their work. They were very experimental, just like, what I was trying to do. And I loved the Polaroid negative. Reversi, Italian fashion photographer, was the Starn twins from Boston were really, really good. Like I said, David Hockney was really, I loved his thing he was doing with his one style, that collage type thing. But the Starn twins were really cool, and they were also a Boston twins. They were twins, photographer Mike and Doug Starn, and they were also doing all this super cool, experimental stuff. Nick Knight. There was I had a bunch of people, but I tried not to get influenced by too many photographers because I thought I was getting influenced by the people I was working with, and I wanted to try to stay in my own lane and try to do something that was all me. So I tried to I don't know, it's kind of weird. I tried to not be too influenced by everybody. I admired it, but
sure,
it's just like writing a song or painting and whatever.
That makes a lot of sense.
Try to come up with your own thing, and I think that just takes time, and you just got to keep on pushing through it and working through problems and keep on shooting. I mean, that was, I think, if you look at my early work and the progression, I got even like the stuff on the back of the wall, I got super slick and super funny in like 2000s, and right. I can show you more of that. I went from experimental and kind of dark, and then I got kind of poppier and funnier, but still, I still always had I always still put my twist on it. Everything I do, I put my twist on it. So even
could you give us some perspective on this gentleman?
That's MCA, Beastie Boys, Adam Yacht. This was the date, 2006, 2008-ish, something like that.
So this is a little bit later on in the game.
Okay, maybe a little bit later on.
Yep.
Hasselblad again, Pro Photo Lighting, blah, 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 for the people who care. This was down on West 4th Courts, the Cage, they call it.
Yeah, right.
It was a rainy day. I mean, it doesn't look like it was, it's raining here, but it was actually raining. It was for men's fitness, I think. And it was a weird client to do an MCA shoot. but I liked the project, and it was about his basketball movie that he was coming out with. So yeah, super cool. It was legendary. That shoot was one of my favorites. Just and then for people who care, that's another one. It's the knockdown of the shutter and the lens. When you're lighting it with a strobe, you can sync your camera up to different shutter speeds and faster shutter speeds. So you're enabled to knock down everything. So that's what makes it look that way. It's got that kind of nice, like, cool vibe going on. But I mean,
is this against the concrete wall on the court?
Yeah, like the handball courts, yeah.
I mean, the handball court's right next to the basketball.
Right. Yeah,
exactly. This looks beautiful, man. Beautiful.
Dude, look at his hands. I mean, just like
really great.
Just and that was my thing. I want all my work to be classic. I want it to be timeless. I wanted it to look like it was shot in 85 or 2025. I didn't want to put any kind of trends or any kind of too heavy vibes on it.
Yeah.
But love it, man. Love it. And he was so cool, dude. So cool.
Yeah, he was. I have fond memories of him.
Yeah, I was supposed to shoot the Beastie Boys twice, and both times it got canceled, so I was bummed. But yeah, maybe.
Here's another one of that session. I think this one gives you a little bit more perspective. There's the court and there's the handball, and there's the handball court, right?
There it is. I call this one crossing over. Kind of. Yeah.
Beautiful shot.
Yeah, I mean, the everything about it, just the color. Yeah. He was so cool. I did this shoot in probably about 40 minutes. So it was a quick one, but yeah, one of my favorites.
Very nice. Let me take a quick sponsor break,
sure.
And then let's come back. I want to talk about this Krishna Core Spin magazine adventure you went on in 1995, and we'll continue on our journey doing show and tell.
Absolutely. Thank you.
See you in a couple. Yep. That's right. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Our guest today is photographer Ray Lago, and got lots of show and tell, lots of cool stuff coming on. Let's do some sponsor stuff. We'll talk about some upcoming shows. Since 1992, Generation Records has been a mainstay of the New York metropolitan area music scene. Today, they offer a diverse selection of new and used rock, jazz, indie, hip-hop, punk, hardcore, metal, blues, soundtrack, and reggae LPs, as well as t-shirts, posters, and other merchandise. They buy used record collections and music memorabilia and will pay you top dollar for them. House calls made for large collections in the tri-state area. Call or email generationrecords@gmail.com and follow them on Facebook and Instagram.
Will that be cash or in debt?
Do you mean debit?
Yes. Sorry. Another eternally satisfied customer.
Yo, what's happening? I'm out here at one of our all-ages Sunday matinees on the Bowery. I hope that you are enjoying today's show. I just want to let you know that the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live needs your support. Please step up. There is a Patreon page that has a lot of unique program. Shows are announced there first. Lots of good stuff. There's a PayPal address right there on the screen if you want to make a contribution. There's also a super chat function. You could do that, but the bottom line is this show exists because of your support. We're going to be doing it for a long, long time. Thank you for all your support through the years. Back to the show.
Conditioned by indoctrination, conditioned by society. You're a victim of the digital age, a 21st century casualty. Open your eyes, you're losing control. Open your eyes, put down the phone. Conditioned by misinformation, it's just the media telling us lies. Decipher fiction from the truth, society's slow and tragic demise. Open
And we're back. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Hope everything's going well around the world with you on this Sunday. Couple of upcoming shows 1 week from today. 1 week from today, yay. Mike Dean, formerly of Corrosion of Conformity, currently Righteous Fool and Lightning Born, will be on the show. Looking forward to this one. I know you are too. Wednesday, October 15th, Mr. Zach Thorne of Bulldoze, Jared O'Connell from The Rousers, celebrating the Sire Sessions 1979, will be on Wednesday, October 22nd. Yo, the 400th show is almost upon us with our old friend Brian Baker of Bad Religion, formerly of Minor Threat, and I'm not sure formerly or not of Dag Nasty. Sunday, November 2nd, Dave Ingram from Benediction and Bolt Thrower, Steve Wynn of the Dream Syndicate, celebrating the 40th anniversary edition of the Dream Syndicate Medicine Show, doing a little side trips episode. Chris Rayford of Autopsy, Death, and Abscess on Sunday, November 16th. Wednesday, November 23rd, Dr. Chud of The Karens, formerly of The Misfits, Michael Graves era, will be on. We don't know if this is going to happen. Still MIA. If anybody knows Harry, please send him home to us. Sunday, November 30th, Harry Angus, the author of the Encyclopedia of Jerry Garcia Music Venues. Another Side Trips episode. I hope it happens. I want to talk to this guy. Just announced this the other day. Lori Dawn hooked it up. She will be co-hosting with me. John Bush from Anthrax, formerly of Anthrax, currently of Armored Saint, and currently of Category 7th, will be on the show. Wednesday, December 10th, Peter Bywaters of Peter and the Test Tube Babies, and Sunday, December 21st, co-hosted by Joel Gustin, John Gallagher of Raven. That said, I want to shout out new patrons, Clockwork Mike and Momo the Old. Please support the show on Patreon. It's the best way to do it. Show needs your support. That's how we are able to do the show. It's right there, www.patreon.com. Hey, I guess I could do that with the scan thing too. Oh, that's cool. I'm going to do that. There's a PayPal address as well. Please don't be a Patreon. Join Patreon. The show needs your support. That said, let's clear the deck and let's bring our guest back on, photographer Ray Lego. Hey, man.
What's up?
Cool. Hey, you know, one thing huh?
I'm still here at Ravella Grooves.
Yeah. We're going to do a little tour in a bit. But
Okay.
let's keep it. You know, one thing that you sent me that was very cool was this here. Take a peek at this. It's like is it a video?
Yeah, this was a video I shot on 8mm and 16mm film for I did the whole video for like $500 back in I think 1994. I actually had the live the original VHS tape here in the case. I'll show you guys. Pretty cool. Yeah, this was all filmed upstate in Vista.
This is kind of rare. I've never seen this.
Yeah, raw, super raw. But you can see right there. I mean, the same Lego that we all love. You know, it's like experimental video stills. You know, I'm shooting through like Coke glasses and
right,
you know, just raw and just experimental. You know, I think that the live show was at the bank.
Yeah, that's
the
right.
Bank. Yeah, the bank. So.
I think I have that flyer. Let me look that up.
Super cool. It was like during their Hare Krishna festival day. I forgot what they call it, but yeah, me and Ray. I know Ray for a while now. He's super cool, and I've done tons of shelter photos. And when we decided to do the video, we're like, yeah, this will be really cool. Let me just, experiment. And it's raw, man. It's raw, but it's cool. I mean, I think it's, it's interesting, right? I don't know. I think
there's an inherent.
How it only has like 1,000 views is beyond me.
Shelter Bad Trip 108 at the bank. I think this is it.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah,
that's it. I mean, 108 too, man. Oh, can we talk about 108? I got something real cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
please.
so here it is. The original photo of 108 Threefold Misery.
Wow.
Check that out. Really cool, right?
Yeah.
So super cool. That's in the show too as well. That was I shot that whole record in my apartment in Hoboken, my little tiny apartment in Hoboken. So it's really cool. Really cool.
This is some 108 that you shot, correct?
Yep, that's my apartment in Hoboken. Just that guys came over and I was just say, hey, let's do something. Yeah, there was a few photos, but this one, for whatever reason, this ended up being, I don't know if this made the record, but it was one of my favorites. I just thought something about it. But back then I was blowing things out, like the skin tone blown out, and experimental, the heavy bleaching, the print. These are actual prints that are being bleached. You can just eaten away, and you can see, just once again, like experimental and just trying to, back then most photographers were blowing their negatives, blowing the dust off the negatives. I was scratching mine with sandpaper. I was anti-photography. I hated photographers, growing up. I just thought they were annoying. And I just wanted to, not be associated with them and try to figure out another way I could do it without being that like, oh, just one more, like, can you do this? And seeing other photographers stumble trying to do a shot and lighting and taking forever, it just drives me crazy.
It sounds like you were really trying to create your own organic path.
Just trying to buck the system. If everybody was doing this, man, I'm going the other way. If people were shooting all black and white, I wanted to shoot color. So it just, I've been always like that. I've always wanted to, be my own, or have my own kind of vibe. There's Ray on the rooftop of the Krishna temple in Brooklyn.
Is this part of the spin?
That is. That didn't make the story, but that's an outtake.
Tell us about the whole story, the whole thing. What were you looking at, and how did? And I'll show some pictures.
So I guess Spin reached out to me. I've already worked for them a bunch of times, and they knew I was doing all the shelter stuff. And a writer, someone got wind of it, and they're like, Hare Krishna hardcore story. I'm like, absolutely, let's do it. So I'm like, all right, let me start off with, there's a bunch of them. Let me start off with Shelter, who I know well and have photographed a bunch. And, here's them in their greenhouse, super cool.
Yeah.
Black and white. Here's another version of that in color.
Beautiful.
I mean, like, for me, it was like, especially when they wore the robes and the tight neck beads, and they were all monochromatic, and the shaved heads, and there's Purcell putting on the I'm not really sure what that's called again, but just super cool. This made it into the story, I believe. Yeah. So they said you got 2 weeks, come up with a story. So I went to Equal Vision. I shot all those guys, Purcell and Shelter and Ray, 108, and I put it together. Here's some more shots of John and it's kind of reflective. John and Ray at the at the temple. So I did a bunch of live shots. I did a bunch of mostly portraits, and I spent the night in the temple. And,
that must have been fun.
Yeah, very interesting. I mean, like they woke up at 3 a.m, took cold showers, and went downstairs and started like chanting and stuff. And yeah, it was interesting. I mean, I was documenting the whole thing, and for me, it was purely visual, and since I knew John and I knew Ray, they were really comfortable around me. And like, I got some stuff that I don't feel comfortable showing because it's really personal, but I mean, it's nothing crazy. It's just like intimate type kind of stuff that I don't think they want me to show. But
yeah,
it was like, it was super cool. The story, a lot of people didn't like the story. I mean, it's spin. They put a spin on it, So I think they kind of like made it into something that, a lot of them didn't really. Yeah, there's this was taken by Scott Pauley, or Scott Duncan, he goes by now. But there's Ray carrying a pot of food out to the dinner. There's me in the background. There's my wool hat again that my dad smacked off my head. I probably got my Hossie around me. I mean, it's so heavy, you need a strap to carry it, or
like a guitar strap.
Yeah, exactly. This was in Philly, at the temple in Philly, in the kitchen. Yeah, and actually, Equal Vision was right like next door over. Was in the office right next door to the kitchen. So they ran Equal Vision right there. Yeah, it was.
I have recently chanted Hare Krishna with Ray Cappo in Philadelphia.
Nice.
I did. I was doing a book event with him, and he asked me to come along. It was quite an experience. It was great. It was it was a really, really. He's a beloved figure in that realm.
Yeah, I mean, gotta love him, man. You gotta love him. I mean, the Hare Krishnas get a bad rap, but Ray and John, you can't, they're awesome.
I'm a fan of Ray Cappo.
Yeah, I've chanted Hare Krishna mantra a few times myself. So
yeah, I'm a Ray Cappo fan.
I used to have the bean bag and carry that around and get into it. But I mean, yeah, man, whatever works, and they're not hurting anybody. So that's really cool. One, I was shooting like Nike and like Philly, and like me and my assistant, who was also another John Jay guy. We were on the street, like, hanging out, and all of a sudden we hear ding, 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 ding. We hear the Krishna, like the cymbals and the, and the chanting and whatever. And, we're just sitting there, and they come by, like 20 of them. And there's Priscelli, and my,
right.
Like, hey. So, I mean, it's full circle. It's really cool. So,
and John Joseph, you went and shot him. He was part of this story as well, huh?
Yep, there he is.
Yeah, in the woods.
Yep, this is Norfolk.
It's a nice shot, really beautiful shot.
Yeah, this is in Norfolk, Virginia. Can we talk about this, or?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into the weird particulars, but you shot. Yeah, talk about it. You shot him for part of the Krishna story.
Yeah. So he was down there in Norfolk, and I met up with him. I was waiting for my plane at a coffee shop, and we were out the night before, and like till like super late, and I fell asleep in the coffee shop, and I missed my flight. So I called him up. I'm like, John, man, I missed my flight. I'm gonna take the next one down. So it was like a half a day late. So him and his buddy met me there, and I'm like, okay, there's all these really cool woods. There's all these like, super weird, like, Virginia, like row houses and stuff like that. I kind of knew John from like the health food store, and of course, the Chromags. But I just said, okay, let's do some just crazy stuff in the woods, just kind of standing there, just looking right through me, and this is one of my favorite shots. I mean, he just,
great shot.
It's just, yeah, he looks super cool, and that the contrast, that lens again, is pulling a lot of the weight there. So
let me ask you,
big stuff with John. I've shot John a few times. He's very photographic and a super cool guy.
This one caught my eye. I know we're bouncing around here.
No
This
problem.
one caught my eye because I worked with this guy also during this era. It almost looks like where we did the shoot.
Oh, you know who that is, right?
Of course, it's Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, Vanilla Ice, right after Ice Ice Baby, where he went gangster rap. This was this is Miami.
Oh, it's Miami. Okay, I directed a music video from this album at must have been right around this time.
Oh, really?
Me and my brother did The Wrath, and
Okay.
it was shot in it looked like this looks like the same location. We shot it in LA though.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
You want-
great guy, nice guy.
Yeah, yeah. My Vanilla Ice story is pretty legendary. You want me to tell it real quick?
Sure.
So I'm down in Miami. Lives on Star Island with Madonna and all those people. You got to get buzzed in. We show up to his gate. It's got a big yin and yang gate. Like Ray Lego for Spin Magazine. Opens up. Me and my assistant roll in, and some guy comes out with a power washer with like a baseball hat and whatever. He's like, "What the fuck do you guys want?" We're like, "We're here to shoot Vanilla Ice for Spin." And he's like, "Oh, cool, man." He takes off his hat, and it's Rob. So give me 5. I'm gonna take a shower and come right down. I'm like, okay, cool. So we hop into his like white. All his cars are white. All his boats are white. Everything's white, dude. His house is drug dealers, 80 Lucite. Everything is like Lucite. The stairway, the cascading stairway, the kitchen counters, everything. It's like Lucite. And I'm like, I gave him a Hasselblad with a 40 millimeter lens. I go, in the bathroom is mirror and Lucite. I go in the bathroom and like take a couple of self portraits of yourself, so as like a warm up shot. I kind of do that once in a while. So I get the film back, and he's got his pants down. He's on the toilet. He's got his one hand in the toilet. It was hilarious. So we hop into his white tornado, GMC Tornado, something like that. This souped up van beast of a car with the boom, boom. It's got the whole thing is speakers, woofers.
Right.
And we're cruising around Miami. What's the main drag there? Miami Beach. And
right.
we're knocking guys' toupees off with this thing. I mean, it is just so loud and so crazy. We went to the sushi place, and we sat in front of we found some on the street, and everybody's coming by. Hey, Ryan, he's such a nice guy. He was like talking to everybody. We ate like $2,000 worth of sushi. And the next day, he invited us. He had a blowout party. Madonna was there. There was no cell phones back then, so nothing could be captured. It was like super early, like 92, maybe 93, maybe a little bit later. And dude, everybody was there. Everybody was going crazy. Me and my assistant were just looking at each other like, is this for real? I mean, there must have been like 300 people at Vanilla Ice's party in his backyard. And there's Madonna, there's that, and people doing crazy stuff, dude. I mean, I can't even say it what they were doing. I mean, it was like right on to like Dirk Diggler and Boogie Nights, dude. It was crazy.
Great story. When
Thanks.
I worked with him, he was like on the jet ski circuit. He's like a professional jet ski racer. He was like ranked top 10 and and motocross. So we went and met with him. And like one day he was racing motocross, he was doing jet ski, and we did this music video and we had a blast. Him and his people. He was great.
Super cool. Yeah, he had a store down in Miami that sold just all high end like jet skis and like like souped up like motor scooters and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, man. So Vanilla Ice, man. Who would have thought?
Yeah. Tell us about the hold on. You know what? Instead of we'll do some more show and tell, but tell us about the show behind you and what's going on there. Can we do like a little tour of that?
Okay, you want to do a walkthrough?
Yeah, I'll sort of. Yeah, go ahead.
Here he comes. Here's my main man.
All right, so I'm gonna.
Give us 2 seconds. Okay, we're almost there. So here's Brandon. Say hi. There he is. You remember him?
Hello, guys. Hey, Drew.
Hey, bro.
Yeah, man.
yeah.
So, yeah, man. You ready?
Yeah, yeah. You wanna...
All right. So I'm
Here
going to
we
take
go.
you.
All right, I'm
Go,
gonna.
all right, go ahead. Let's see if we could get this to work. Turn the volume on.
There we go.
Turn the camera sideways. There you go.
There he is.
All right, go ahead.
All right, here we go. So these are 11 by 17 archival pigment prints. So here we go. Okay, Go, Stone Roses, Hoobastank. The reason they came up with Hoobastank because they were in a baseball game and someone walked by them that smelled and they were like, Hoobastank. Kind of funny. My Cam. Here's a cool shelter like quad right here. There's the original like 108 Deftones Saturday Night Wrist grid. These are this is a print of the Polaroids. ODB. Here's the into another stuff. Alkaline Trio, more Shelter, Orange 9 outtake right here. Kanye, more White Stripes. St. Vincent, SZA, Travis Barker, Ghetto Blaster, Weezer, Kings of Leon. And right here are some of the original one-of-a-kind contact sheets. Like here's Kanye West, Michael Stipe, Feist, Trivium, Thursday, Andrew WK, Air, and some more. So, hey, follow me. I feel like I'm on Chris. So here's some more contact sheets. We've got Low, Thrust Hermit, Bootsy Collins, Ben Queller, Kitty during the Spit era. There's Ray Capo right there again. Management, Good Charlotte, Mercury Rev, cool Mercury Rev, Sheryl Crow. Here's Split Frame, Kings of Leon. Some more Polaroid, some more contact sheets. I mean, Billy Idol, Good Charlotte, Bootsy Collins, Soul Asylum, and here's the Deftones Polaroids from Saturday Night Wrist, the original Polaroids, and here's the Shelter video that I was telling you about. You can get that in.
Yep.
Okay, cool. And below that is the Kings of Leon Only by the Night Polaroids. That was like the UK cover was a 4 of those. That's very close to the David Hockney stuff I was talking about, dude. You remember? So there's the grid collages.
Yeah.
Beach House, Jim Carroll, Bo's Def. There's really cool Polaroids of Chaka. I did this for, I think it was Airwalk. It was like a sneaker company. Yeah, really cool. So here's some test Polaroids. These are one-of-a-kind test Polaroids. Here's some Into Another, more Shelter, My Chemical Romance, White Stripes, OK Go, super early stuff. And I've got a couple bins here.
So this is a fantastic. You really put it together. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, you should have saw the opening night, man. I filled this whole place up. I mean, we kind of got it back so they can sell records. So we filled up all the waterfalls and all the space and whatever. And so in here, I've got like, like the like you can like you're searching for a record. Jim Carroll, Connor Oberst, Sarah, Jean, Bootsy. There's John, another John shot. This was at the Limelight. Some more Chaka stuff, Kanye. So there's a bunch of stuff here people can check out and look at. Here's more Burn stuff and a bunch of just other prints. Frankie Cosmo. Yeah, so there's a bunch, man. I think there's like over 400 images and some more of the same, Kanye at the Explorers Club. Cool. Rob Thomas, Bootsy. These are like laminated C prints. That's how I showed my work back then. And last but not least are the vintage C prints. These are a chemical print made in a darkroom, and there's some really great stuff here. you know, like Billy, Bobby Valentino, Deftones, ODB, Motion City Soundtrack, Jules Santana.
Wow. What a great
Geese over there on the
presentation.
door, right?
Well
there's
done.
JP,
Well done, you
Sonny.
guys.
Look at this, man. Really cool. My cam. You know, so yeah, man, it's good. 30 years, dude. 30 years. So
Yeah.
it's good. Jay Retard. You know, I hung out.
I was
with him.
wondering, you sent me that, and I wasn't sure who that was.
Yeah, I hung out with him for like a weekend we shot it for Death and Taxes magazine, which was a magazine that I did with like 2 other guys. I was like the creative director. And we would just like say, okay, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna put on the cover this month? And we had fun with it. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, he was really cool, man. It's sad his pass. Like, he passed like 2 weeks after this photo. So it was just, yeah, it was too bad. You know, old school stuff. We got Kings of Leon that I shot for the first time. You know, when they're like denim and bang cuts, and then the next time I shot them, they were all wearing like Prada and had model girlfriends. So there you go, man. Rock stars.
Yeah.
You know, don't give up. Never give up.
Yeah. Josh asked, what year was that Gene Simmons from?
That's tough. Okay, I'm gonna switch back over.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. There you go.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, that was great. We pulled it off.
Woo! Was that a first?
Kind of. But you guys, oh, he's almost pulled it off. Well, you know what? Sponsor break. This is the one, the only New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. We are sponsored by blah, 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 and the Texas Silver Rush. The Texas Silver Rush is a jewelry design firm and boutique store located in the birthplace of the Texas country music scene in Fredericksburg, Texas. They specialize in working with musicians in all music genres to design and create unique one-off pieces, as well as to style them for stage, album covers, promo photos, and social media exposure. Their client list includes Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Greg Rowley, Ringo Starr, and of course, Agnostic Front. Information on online sales are being taken at their Facebook and Instagram page, and of course, www.texassilverrush.com. Last but not least, She Devil's Coven. She Devil's Coven is a female-owned entrepreneur business based out of Connecticut. Owner Rachel King Key's handcraft soy wax candles set with intentions for your sanctuaries. She's accomplished a life goal dream since beauty school, debuting her artist showcase, Hotties and Hellions, that features live bands, burlesque, sideshow acts, vendors, food trucks, and this year a live auction with all proceeds going to the mental health program Punk Rock Saves Lives. Catch her in the tri-state area doing her thing, slinging candles at events, and keep an eye out for her show coming to New York in the spring of 2026. You can catch her on Etsy and on Instagram. While we're at it, I want to mention some events that are coming up. Out in Long Island, all acoustic, all ages, Serial Poets, and the guitar player in Incendiary Device, Will Romeo, at Nautilus Roasting Company on Friday, October 10th. Yo, Saturday, October 11th, out at AC Slade from the Misfits Catfight Coffee Shop in Boonton, New Jersey. We are screening Who the Fuck Is That Guy? The Fabulous Journey of Michael Alago. Yes, it is Michael. It is Alago time again. I will be out there along with the Phonic Rochelle. Alago and I are doing a Q&A after the screening. Come on out. It's free. If it's free, it's for me. Sunday, October 12th, free all ages. The New York Hardcore Chronicles proudly presents the Back to the New York Hardcore Roots series at our home at the Bowery Electric. Incendiary Device, Non-Residents, Dead Blow Hammer, Overstand, Steel Toe Solution, DJ Sid the Kid at the Bowery Electric. Come on down. Bring the wife and kids. It's most definitely on. 1 week later, we are out at San Francisco playing with GBH and our friends in Noise at the DNA Lounge as part of the Crash Festival. We are stoked to be out in the Bay Area. Looking forward to seeing Chris Contos and all our other friends out there. Then we're going to be soon after Friday, November 7th. We're playing the Hostel City Weekender 3 just outside Philadelphia at the American Legion Post 214 in Upper Darby, PA, along with our friends in Rebelmatic, The Fiends, and many others. Brick by Brick, No Weapon, Impact Driver, and others, Sunday, November 9th at the Barrier Electric, free all ages. We'll be up at Cherry Street Station with Concrete Ties on November 22nd. And then the big banger, the Holiday Slamboree, the annual Women of the Pit Holiday Coat Drive. My War, we're revving it up again. New singers, new songs, along with Butterbrain, Tree, Serial Poets, and World of Chaos. Like I said, it is the Women of the Pit Coat Drive at the Barry Electric, 3rd annual. That's Sunday, December 14th. So no excuse. You must be down. Hey, any questions? Now would be the time to post them for our guest as we continue our journey with photographer Ray Lego. Hey, man.
Hey, I'm back.
I see. Yeah, that worked out well. Hey, let me ask you a couple of do some show and tell here. Who is this in this photo with you?
Danny McBride.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Danny McBride in LA that we shot that for the cover of Death and Taxes magazine.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was a crazy shoot. He's wearing some wacky, crazy sweater and stuff. So, yeah.
I was trying to figure out who is that? Yeah.
Danny effing McBride.
What is going on in this photo right here? Oops, lost it. That sucks. All right. If it's important, it'll come back. We just had this guy's brother on the show, and these really caught my eye. What could you give us some perspective? Sorry, the internet's acting a little weird. On this gentleman.
You know who that is, right?
Yes, that's Old Dirty Bastard.
That's Old Dirty Bastard, Dirt McGirt. That's straight out of prison.
Right.
You know, probably out of prison for like a week. Just signed to Rockefeller. He's got the emblem on. And we shot this for Blender magazine in Harlem, at a church in Harlem. And they were like, Blender magazine was always like, it was wacky, it was crazy. It was like, let's do something different. They didn't want to do like, Old Dirty and like, the typical hip hop rap scenario. So a church, why not, right?
Right.
The red hat, I hated that and I fought that the whole time, but they wanted the red hat. But yeah, I mean, we did like a half a day there and multiple shots, and he was very quiet, didn't really say that much. Not too much info there about it. He was very quiet, but yeah, that's another shot, black and white shot of him.
Yeah.
Just a very, he was very quiet.
That's interesting because you would think Old Dirty Bastard would be very, very not quiet.
Yeah, he was super quiet. I don't know what was going on, but whatever. It's all good. It's like that kind of worked with it because if he was crazy off the hook, the ODB that we expect, maybe that's so typical. So I'm glad that he was quiet. Yeah. And whatever. So Travis Barker, that was in like a Chinese restaurant. His kids were there. It was for Inked magazine.
Yeah.
For Inked magazine. Yeah, he was. I shot him a few times. That was a really cool shoot. Just kind of love the Chinese restaurant shoots. They're fun. What else you got for me, Drew?
I tell you what, bro.
Come on. You want me to send you some more?
Hold on. No. All right. So this one kind of freaked me out.
Dude, everybody loves this. Sheryl Crow on the toilet.
This one kind of freaked me out.
Yeah, her her PR people, dude, were going bananas. They were like, "You can't do that," and she was just so cool. I was like, my hair, dude, was like 2 feet. I had a bouffant, dude, and was wearing like a polyester like suit shirt, and like, oh, she loved me, dude. I mean, we were like,
Yeah.
oh, like, she loved me. So she was just like, let him do whatever he wants to do, and we had a blast. She was so cool, so cool. Rhode Island, '96.
Her
I think.
foot is kind of freaking me out.
Yeah, I think she's got like some toe rings on, so it kind of look a little funky. But
I mean, so that's the name. Listen, if anybody out there's looking for a name for their hardcore band, Sheryl Crow's Foot. There you go.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, this is like right. She was just blowing up, like they flew me to Rhode Island, me and my assistant, and like a groomer person.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, she was so sweet, and I was like smitten over her. So, yeah, it was fun. I think I was like, I don't know what my deal was, but I looked at photos like when I was on the plane that my assistant took, and like it was like I was like a lost puppy. I think I like, kind of was just like, oh man,
she really seems to. I mean, probably still, but she seemed to She put a spell on a couple. She put a spell on people.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, she was super nice. She made you feel like, like you were, the only one in the room. I don't know if she was looking to try to get the best photo out of the photographer.
Yeah.
Some people try to do that, but like, like, oh, you're the best and I love it and this and that. But I just think we were kind of doing the same kind of thing, man. She was new. I was new. We were trying to create something different, and it kind of just worked,
Yeah.
We kind of like had the same vibe going on. I mean, she
Right
was,
on.
I don't know. It was,
yeah.
Cool.
Our good friend and supporter, Ray Zoller asks, hey, Ray, what are you currently shooting with? And how was your adjustment switching to mirrorless systems, if in fact you did switch?
Well, I'm not shooting mirrorless systems. I'm shooting phase 1 and Hasselblad digital system, medium format, and Nikon for my DSLR. Camera is a camera. I don't really get into the gear stuff too much. I mean, it was after the big giant Hasselblad. I mean, the digital stuff to me just kind of all seems the same, and wouldn't get too worried about that kind of stuff. Your iPhone's not that bad either, but whatever. I mean, yeah, don't I wouldn't. I'm not really a gearhead, as far as cameras go. But yeah, phase 1 Hasselblad digital. The problem is that they're really expensive and they're unpredictable, and you need like 3 on set, so you got to rent like 3 of them. And but you could do I do 50% of my work these days with a Nikon DSLR. Super cool. Super
right on.
Film, I shoot film too as well still, but it's harder, it's slower. And Polaroids, I'm really digging Polaroids. I always have 600 series Polaroids.
Right on. Listen, Danny Cole asks, and I know this is a loaded question, but is there any particular photo that has a super special place in your heart that you keep to just you?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the Chi from the Deftones stuff. I mean, I do show some, but there's some stuff that, like since I hung out with him that week and, became friends with him, it was that session was very like one-on-one with everybody. I only shot the band like once all together, and the rest of the week it was individuals, and they would come to my hotel room and I would shoot them up against the wall, and I would do some video still type stuff, Polaroid stuff, and kind of just did like really deadpan, like, portraits, almost like mugshots.
I'm trying to find
that was kind of my thing. Yeah. But yeah, the cheese stuff is kind of special, and it just, and the personal stuff, like,
Can I show one?
Sure.
Hold on, I'm just grabbing. Okay, here's yeah, you sent these. Yeah, this is okay. Here's this. Boom.
Yeah, that's like that's a shot of multiple Polaroids. His hands with his cigarette, the writings and stuff. Just beautiful. You can see over here where his hands are on his face is something he kind of constantly did. Like these two over here, one with the base and one above it. So there was some other ones, even though he wasn't doing anything out of the ordinary. The ones that I don't like to show, it's just like him, me, and the camera, just kind of personal. So I,
Sure.
don't want to, and a lot of stuff of like, my wife Laura, that just portraits of her, and some Ben Queller stuff of him and his like, like his baby, that he just had a baby, and I took stuff like that, stuff that's I just but everything will have its day one day, but yeah, Disco Chino, I call this. This was really funny. I just thought like him in the velour suit and the gazelle the thick glasses, and this was the boombox that we just bought from Best Buy, So, and this is like behind backstage in Nashville. We're all hanging out in this one room, me, my assistants, and the band. I don't think she was there, but we were just hanging out, having a good time, and it was Abe's birthday, so we were just having a partying and having fun. So
Josh asks, the face Polaroids that are 4 pics making one face, do you shoot 4 photos or just try to line up by eye? Like, how do you put that together?
The Chi one. As you can see, that's a reoccurring theme in my work. It's like, and that's taking a page out of David Hockney's book. It's like you're trying to create like one image out of 4 images, and like I'm not looking to make it perfect. I'm looking more for like a vibe, to kind of like make it feel like it's almost moving. So it can be out of focus, or it could be like just cut weird and whatever. And then I end up shooting usually a lot, and then I'll go back and it's all in the edit. And I'll see what looks good together and put it together. If you look at the Kings of Leon Only in the Night UK version, I don't think I sent you that, dude, but you can really see what I'm talking about in that. But I don't care about lining up. It's not about lining up.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Yep.
I'm looking for more of a vibe and a feeling more than it being perfect.
Hey, tell us about Slot Care Kids.
Okay, so Slot Care Kids is like my charity that I started with 2 high school kids, Scott Bayer and Sean Merkel. They are now older and grown and in working professionals. We go to children's specialized hospitals and we set up slot car tracks. They're little tiny cars with a controller that are electrified, and they go around the track. They have, the way we do this, they have magnets, and we build a big giant track, and the kids come down, and it's a wireless system. So even in kids in wheelchairs, they can race the cars around the track and be anywhere with their people, their nurses and whatever. And the kids come down and forget about their troubles for a couple hours, and everybody has a good time. So it's just, love slot car racing. I travel around the country racing slot cars. So I just thought this was a great thing I could do from one of my passionate hobbies. So
that's great.
It's very cool. We do probably about 10 to 12 events a year. Our last one we had, it wasn't a hospital, it was a police event with kids, and we got 135 kids come through. So
wow.
All ages. Yeah, so it was a lot.
That's great, man. That must bring you a lot. That must bring you a lot of joy.
Yeah, it's hard to show that because I can't take photos of inside the hospital, but it's kids having fun. Kids having fun racing slot cars.
Yeah. This is a good question. Do you collect other photographers' pics?
I mean, I do have a bunch of photographs from Guzman, the photographer that I worked with.
Mhm.
you know, it was nice to have like some of the bigger shoots that like I worked on. Like there was like some fashion stuff, some like Ozzy Osbourne stuff. Of course, the Cobain shoot. But I don't. I really don't. I more collect painters or other artists. I collect a lot of um, painters down south called what is it called? What's the genre? Oh man, how come I got anyway? Like Mose Tolliver and Jimmy Lee Suddit, outsider art, yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
And also I used to collect, and I don't anymore, like all the street guys like Shepard Fairey,
Sure.
Barry McGee, Phil Frost, all those graffiti type painter guys. I stopped doing. I don't really do that anymore, but
Makes sense.
No.
Hey, here's one that that I like. This happens to be a real New York guy. What were the? How did this guy come into your orbit?
Well, I was doing a lot of work for the record label. You know, Jim Carroll, Pools of Mercury session. This was shot right off of Houston in a bar. We had 2 locations across from each other before it was cool, and then that Tom and Jerry's or Tom and Louise was Houston and 72 Houston. I'm not really sure what it was, but I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, Basketball Diaries was like everything for me. That book. I mean, I that was probably one of the only books I've ever read.
Right.
And when I had the opportunity to shoot Jim, I mean, it was perfect. I mean, he's like everything I look for you know, for doing portraits. You know, he's got such a really cool look. You know, just his face and his skin and everything about it, and even like the styling of it. Well,
What year was this?
I think
about?
that's 96, right?
He looks healthy here.
Yeah, man, he was good. He was tall and lanky. He was like, you know, he was throwing baskets into the basketball hoop around the corner on in Little Italy over there. Yeah, he was good, man. He was totally like all there, and yeah. So I think it was 96 or 98, but
Yeah.
you know, but yeah, we became friends, and I would run into him in the video store like all the time, and I would you know, he would be like in that like 98. That was 1998. In his like, you know, methadone, I don't know if he was on methadone, but that methadone cracky voice. They're like, "Hey Ray, what's going on?" You know, like, so every time I saw him, and we're like, "Oh Jim, what's going on, man?" I mean, he was just so cool to me. Yeah, he's like, I mean, look at that dude. He's like so photographic, you know, just
Yeah. I mean, having grown up in New York City and
a legend.
You know, a legend, and also having grown up in sort of in some of the same neighborhoods that are in that book.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely resonated for me.
He is New York City, man,
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
like, you know, Lower East Side and all this, you know, all his stories. And if you read the book, all, you know, we've been to all those places, you know, we passed all those places. I mean, it's yeah, it's amazing, man. You know, the struggle and, you know, how creative he was.
Him and his friends jumping off the Columbia Rock. We used to do that when we were kids. I grew up there, you know?
Yeah. And his spoken words, and every time he would speak, I would try to go check out. It's just really, I love his voice, you know, and it just really like it's eerie and like cuts right through you. And even the band is, you know, Jim Carroll band is, you know, really cool too as well. So
yeah.
Great shoe, my favorite.
Yeah.
This is HR. Not sure that this ended up being the cover of Death and Taxes magazine, so it's got to be early 2000. I waited like 3 hours for him to show up. It was in Asbury Park. I think he was playing like Stone Pony, maybe outside stage, maybe outside. Yeah, he was. So he came over, sat on the stool. The third frame in, he got up and left. So there's 3 frames, maybe 4.
That makes sense.
That's it. and there's one of them. So
Yeah.
I didn't even get the opportunity to even like explore or do anything. I mean, I usually, when I photograph, celeb or musicians, the first one is the banger. I want the first piece to be, because you never know. So you can't get warmed up. You can't expect to do stuff after that.
You just touched on, hey, I have notes. How do you approach a subject? And I think you just kind of touched on that. When you're getting together with someone, like for the first time, you've never met them, and you're coming in cold, do you have a particular approach?
I do, actually. And it all starts with a 600 series Polaroids. I will start taking Polaroids, the Polaroids that come out of the camera, like the Deftone stuff,
Sure.
They start coming out. I'll usually shoot like, probably about 30 of them, real quick, lit really nice. And I have a kind of like, style and a template that I do. And this kind of breaks the ice where people kind of see them and they kind of, get a little more comfortable with it, especially shooting digital now where they don't really see anything anymore,
Right.
Like, I don't show people the back of the camera. I don't show subjects the back of my camera. I usually don't show people my my Polaroids, because I don't want them to be like, oh, I don't like the way I look. So everything's kind of like, trust me, I'm here for a reason. Let's just work through it. So the Polaroids first, then go right into the main shot and get comfortable. I mean, and I think you really need to have them trust you. And you can't be the stumbling photographer, like, you can't be like, oh, the lighting, or it's not working, or I can't figure it out. You have to just do whatever. And if you don't, you got to just boom. I'm quick, I'm fast, thorough. So, boom, right after, one after another, boom, 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 go. Okay, done. That's it. Boom, thank you. See you on the next one.
That makes sense.
So no, let me do another one, or it's, quick, short, boom. A lot of my shoots sometimes are an hour, sometimes. I've probably done about 100 15-minute shoots where I got 15 minutes, so boom. This was a couple hour shoot.
Oh, okay.
There's a video where I talk about this shoot from the Contact High project that I did, where I'm talking about the contact sheets. And Kanye came in just like, how we expect him to come out, arrogant, and, he was all just got off the wire on his jaw. So he was still talking with that kind of like, weird wire, because his jaw was wired for months, or I don't know, maybe even a year.
Why was his jaw wired?
He got in a car crash,
Ooh.
So isn't one of his records called Through the Wire? I think that's like one of his records are called.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Kanye fan.
Yeah.
Before or after all the stuff, but
yeah.
It was at the Explorers Club uptown. Once again, who was it shot for? Blender, right? Pushing, trying to juxtaposition, like Kanye rapper and Explorers Club, man. I mean, it makes no sense whatsoever, but that was Blender, whatever. So I had this really cool, like waxed, like Filson jacket that like looked really cool in that thing. And I said, hey, you want to like maybe wear this for a couple of shots? And he was like, no, why would I wear that? Just like arrogant and nasty. Yeah. But I kept on pissing him off, dude, because it says Mike on his jacket.
Yeah.
And like I just kept on saying, hey Mike, I called him Mike, I'm like, hey Mike. And he started getting annoyed with it. So I stopped doing that. So the last shot, which you just showed, was he had a knapsack, and I said, what's in the knapsack? He's like, oh, just some baby photos. I'm like, can we check them out? And so we dumped them on the floor, and I saw that one with the mini fro, and I'm like, dude, you got to hold this, And yeah, he kind of made me try to not show that photo. Don't want to talk too much about that, but I guess then I just like, dude, come on, really? I mean, it is what it is. Why'd you, but it's, yeah, but it's cool. That's my favorite shot,
Trying to create moments.
You know, for sure. That's my favorite shot. You know.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Cool.
So, you know,
Francis, as we head down the home stretch here, Francis Sawyer asks, he shot so many amazing characters. Does he have a holy grail subject to shoot?
That's a tough one, man. I mean, I don't want to sound so cliche, but
Yeah.
you know, it's the person coming up, you know, that I'm looking more forward to, but that doesn't answer that question. I mean, I think Jim Carroll and Jim Carroll probably was one of my favorites, just because he had everything that I liked in the, you know,
Right. Aesthetically.
Weird, tall kind of dude, interesting facial features. You know, his vibe was my vibe back then. You know, you're talking 1998. You know, that was a, you know, dark time. You know, like it was a lot of goth going on and a lot of just, you know, it's kind of dark. You know, it wasn't pop or whatever. So, or at least in my circle, but. Yeah, Jim Carroll, I think. Jim Carroll was it, man, for me. So for sure.
Another one that I like. Texas is the reason, right?
Yep.
Boom.
Yeah. Look at those babies.
Yeah.
You know, like Scott.
Yeah, nice shot.
You know, I go to some of his pop-up restaurants. He's an awesome vegan chef. You know, and they're out on tour right now, man. You know, it's just, you know, like, you know, they were playing at the record store, and I'm like, who is this? And they're like, Texas is the reason. I'm like, wow, this is really good. I never really got into it back in the day, but it's actually really good. You know, and that was a commercial job. That was for Airwalk sneakers. Believe it or not. Sellouts, selling out so early.
Hey, you know.
Yeah.
That said, what does the future hold? What are you looking at?
I'm working on a couple movies, couple books. You know, just gonna. I'm also doing a lot of painting and drawing, and probably be retired in maybe 5 years. And I'm just gonna do more personal stuff and try not to, you know, get too serious about it, but just more of the same, really. I mean, it's just kind of opportunities come, I'm gonna grab them, and we're just gonna have fun with it and try to just, you know, come from here, you know, come from here, not worry about, you know, all the other nonsense. Just do what I feel is right, you know. So whatever that is, I'll do anything. I don't care, as long as I feel that it's, you know, I can be happy and not, you know, too crazy about it. And I'm done with craziness.
There you go.
Yeah, my show is going to be up until November 15th or something like that, and we're going to have a party show to close it out. I can send you any info.
Do you have a date on that yet?
Not yet, but soon, because it's going to be in like a month or like, you know, a month or so. So yeah. And I just wanted to give a shout out again to Ravella Grooves and Gear in Milltown. I mean, they let me do my thing. You know, they just been super cool. The record store is one of the coolest record stores I've ever been to. It's got huge hardcore punk section. It's got everything. I mean, it's got a 45 like collection of like soul and northern something they call it. Northern, what do you call it? Northern what?
Northern Soul.
Northern Soul, yeah. That's just amazing, man. Just a huge collection. They got gear. The owner, everybody who works here, the owner, Darren, I know his name. He's super cool. He's into slot cars too, so he's gonna come race with us, you know. Cool. And everybody's just super cool. The staff and yeah. So just I want to say thank you to them for letting me, you know, do this here, do the show here, and you know.
I'm looking forward to coming out, hopefully to the closing and seeing everybody.
You'll be my special guest.
Fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks a lot, Ray. It was a great show.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'll talk to you soon and keep in touch with me.
For sure, man.
All
Thanks
right.
again.
Have a good night. My pleasure. Bye-bye. All right. Another one in the books photographer Ray Lago. Hey, Mel, you're a little late, buddy. 2 hours later. Have a great Sunday, everybody. Do you know that guy, Ray?
Hoboken dude.
Wait, excuse me? What?
He's a Hoboken guy.
Ah.
A couple times, man. You know.
Hey, Mel, we'll do another hour just for you, bro.
Mel, I miss you, bro. I miss you.
Hoboken rules. All right.
Hoboken.
He was on. He's just saying hi. Okay, good.
All right, man.
Good. All right. I'll see you later, Ray.
Thanks, man.
Hey, thanks a lot, everybody. That was a great show. Mel, David, Jose, the whole gang. We'll see you a week from today. Mike with Mike Dean from of what the fuck is going on here? We'll see you a week from today with Mike Dean. Looking forward to it. Everybody have a good Sunday, a good rest of the night. Thanks a lot. Yeah, it was nice. Photo shows are nice, right? We enjoy those. So good stuff, everybody. Thanks a lot. This was the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Thank you so much for your support through the years. We still have many mountains to climb. Until next time, do good things and good things will come to you.
Conditioned by indoctrination, conditioned by society. You're a victim of the digital age, a 21st century casualty. Open your eyes.